Hello, and welcome to the Underpaid Gamers Podcast, official podcast of underpaidgamers.com. My name is Tony. I'm with my friend and colleague, Justin.
Here I am.
There he is. Welcome. Today we're going to talk about some news things. No Man's Sky, Netflix, Uncharted 4, Battleborn, some superhero things, Captain America, Batman.
Yep.
You look like you had something to say, but maybe not.
And record-breaking.
Record-breaking.
Starting strong.
Record-breaking things of things. Our main topic of today is going to be Gamespot's 20 years of Game of the Year. We're going to talk about all 20 of them, whether we play them or not, whether we think they should be included.
Yes. So stay tuned.
Welcome. Hello, hi.
Yep.
My name's Tony. That's Justin. Okay, listen.
Our beautifully clear voices are here to talk to you about some things today.
We recorded about 3 minutes of podcast, and then we realized that Justin did not plug the mic in.
Whoops.
So, there's that.
Classic mistake.
What were we talking about? We are the Underpaid Gamers. You can find us on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube, on SoundCloud, on iTunes, on Stitcher, on
Google Play,
on Gmail.
We're all over the place.
Yes. Google us.
If you Google us, we're all of them. Well, most. Okay. So
like
there are you'll get like 3 million results. We're like the first 10.
2 million. 10.
We were definitely pretty far away with that guesstimate.
Okay.
All right.
We were talking about something.
You said something about Hearthstone.
Oh, yeah, I was playing. I've been watching a lot of Hearthstone videos. Because the streamer, specifically the Hearthstone streamer that goes by the name of Trump.
Wait. Donald Trump?
No. The Hearthstone streamer that goes by the name of Trump is my favorite Hearthstone player.
Okay.
And I used to watch all his videos all the time.
Uh-huh.
And he's very educational. That's how I learned how to play Hearthstone.
He's really good.
And then I stopped playing Hearthstone, and I stopped watching his videos, but I stayed subscribed to him because I like to support him. And then I was bored yesterday, and I'm like, I'll just watch one of his videos.
There you go.
And Hearthstone has changed a lot. They have a standard playlist now, which is just cards are in specific rotation, like most card games.
Yeah.
So some cards are not viable for the standard playlist.
Yeah.
So there's some new cards that I don't understand.
Huh.
However, I still love Trump.
Trump is awesome.
That's it. That's all I'll say about Hearthstone.
Again, we're referencing Hearthstone Trump.
Jeffrey Sin.
We're trying not to take a political stance. This is not a politics podcast.
We have before, but...
We probably have. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not surprised. So let's move on.
No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky, yeah. We both read this article separately.
You did the thing that you always do.
Whoa.
Which is, I have notes written down, and then you go through and you read articles a day or two after I do, and you write down the same notes without looking at my previous notes.
Always is a strong word. Some weeks I don't write anything down, I can't. Always.
Every time you've written down something... Yeah, I've already written it down.
And the funny thing is I actually wrote down multiple things, but then I caught them. But I didn't catch one of them. So
why don't you just read mine first?
I'm trying to bring new stuff to the content.
Yeah, so read mine and be like, that's interesting.
That's not how it works.
I'm going to go somewhere else with this.
So how this works is I'm on gaming websites and I see something and I think, oh, I should put this on.
You're on the
our
two
notes.
You're on the 3 gaming websites that your school allows.
Yeah, because I got them released myself. I went to IT and asked them.
Tell me the story.
So they blocked our website.
Underpaidgamerspodcast.com.
Underpaidgamerspodcast.com.
They blocked it.
Blocked it. It said...
Which sent you in a mad rage.
I was pretty upset.
Furious.
Because up to that point, I had endured a month and a half at least of all of the gaming news websites being blocked. They weren't at the beginning of the year, and then randomly they updated their filter, and IGN was gone, Games Radar was gone.
Gamespot.
All I had was Polygon, I think, and
That's
Kotaku.
Rough. Kotaku's not bad.
I think it was the only two I had. And so I was like... And those two aren't my favorite by far. So I was pretty sad, and I essentially stopped doing research at school, which is like when I do most of my research.
Because you're a teacher.
Because I'm a teacher, and I got a lot of downtime.
So when you give students in-class work, you're clearly not doing that work as well.
Right.
You're either grading or you're looking up news.
Whoa!
Looking up news.
Yes, thank you for being clear. Yeah, so I pretty much stay on top of things. Like we had finals today. We just need to cut this whole part out.
No.
Oh man. Like,
so you had finals today.
Finals today.
Tomorrow's the last day of school.
And tomorrow's the last day of school, and I already graded all the finals that were taken today.
Wait.
Because that's how I am.
Tomorrow's the last day of school, and you just now started talking to the IT guy?
I talked to him last week.
But is there a possibility they'll be blocked again next year?
No, because he put it on the exception list.
Oh. So anyways, you got the game websites on the exception lists.
Yeah, so just a few of them. The ones I care about.
And the reason you think this should be allowed is because...
I don't see a difference between video game news and movie news and sports news and entertainment news. Any news is news. These aren't websites that you play games on, which is what they're trying to block. These are websites about esports, websites about media, and I believe he unblocked them for students as well. So
specifically our website.
Specifically our website was one of the ones.
So if they want news, they just go to ours.
Yeah, just go to underpaidgamerspodcast.com.
Traffic.
That's what I'm talking about.
You have to, as a high school teacher, well, I mean, it doesn't matter now because it ends tomorrow.
Right.
But you have to subtly spread the rumor that Underpaid Gamers is the only website that's not blocked that has gaming news.
Ah, that's so good.
Like, write it in a bathroom stall.
We need to get more writers then, because I can't write all that. And
we just need to...
Richie can't either.
We just need to have our Twitter linked, which we do.
Yeah.
And just...
Twitter's not blocked.
Retweet things. Is it not?
Twitter is not blocked.
What about Google Chrome? Because when Google Chrome does not have a signal, you can play a little dinosaur that jumps. That's a game.
It's a fun game.
It is a fun game. Google Chrome is awesome.
I love Google Chrome.
Yeah, so No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky is delayed.
As I have made my statement before, I am not excited for this game.
Right.
I think it's going to be a load of poop.
And I think it is going to be awesome.
You think it's going to be awesome, well as the majority of people think it'll be awesome?
I think they're really trying to reinvent the wheel here. They're trying to push into something that has been done.
I think it's going to be boring. I think it's a multiplayer-centered game where you're not going to see anybody else.
I don't think it's multiplayer-centered at all.
I think they talk about it.
I mean, there's going to be multiplayer, but the point is exploration.
Yeah, but they always say things like, oh, you'll find this planet and you'll discover it. And the whole point is that somebody else will then stumble upon that planet. Which is then...
that's not the whole point.
I argue is multiplayer-centric.
Sure. I mean, that's part of it. That's not the core of the game. It's like,
every
time someone comes to my planet, I get a like, and that makes me excited. Like social media? No.
No, but...
No, it's the fact that you're finding a planet.
Yeah, but how many planets can you find before they get boring?
I don't know.
2?
It depends on...
3?
It depends on how different the
30?
planets are. I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, how boring is building things on Minecraft, right? Like, after a while, you just build the same
but the
things
whole
over
reason
again.
you build things on Minecraft... One of the reasons you build things on Minecraft is to share it with people and have them come into your game.
Okay. I've literally never done that in Minecraft, but...
Have you played Minecraft?
Yeah, I put about 30 hours into it.
I used to play Minecraft and watch One Piece.
Oh, yeah?
It was awesome. One Piece is cool.
It's a fun combination.
Minecraft is awesome.
Minecraft was fun.
I got my wife into Minecraft. She liked it a lot.
I once built a tower on your Minecraft.
Justin's Tower, whatever you call it. Turpin Tower?
Turpin Tower.
Anyway, No Man's Sky has been delayed from the originally scheduled June release. Okay, so No Man's Sky has been delayed from the originally scheduled June release. No Man's Sky was first talked about in 2013, so 3 years ago, and has been delayed a month or two. So it's going to come out in July or August. But people are excited for it.
I'm about to spit out my Dr. Pepper.
A lot of people are excited for it. Justin is one of them. I don't care. I think it will sell really well, but I also think Evolve sold really well, and then people are like, this sucks.
Yeah.
You remember Evolve, the big giant monster?
Yeah.
You had to do that. So
I mean, it's possible
if No Man's
that it could happen.
Maybe if No Man's Sky is like $40,
it could be really good.
It could be really good.
I mean,
I might have to eat my words.
You might have to,
but I hardly ever do that.
That happens occasionally.
It's because I refuse. I'm very picky.
You're very picky.
What I eat, I'm like, I'm not eating.
Well, and you're negative towards it, so it's got to really impress you to bring you around.
Yep. Netflix has made an exclusivity deal with.
Oh my gosh.
Wait.
What?
Are you not excited for this?
No, I am, but it's just like so big. It's such big news.
Oh.
Like, have you thought of this? Think about the impact this has.
On what?
On the streaming market.
The only streaming I ever do is Netflix.
Right.
I don't have HBO Go. well, I do because it comes with my internet subscription, but I
Right.
don't use it. I also don't use Amazon, whatever,
Prime Video.
and I don't
Yeah.
use
Hulu.
Hulu
Okay.
because Hulu has commercials.
Yeah, they do.
And it's so annoying.
Unless you buy regular.
I even think it still has commercials in. I'm not gonna buy that. I have Netflix.
True.
When I don't have a Netflix, I have an internet.
So here's the thing. Disney
Break it down.
and Netflix are making a deal.
Word.
Netflix will have all of Disney's content, or most of it. I guess not all of it. I read a report that Star Wars Episode 7, almost said 9, but that's not out even close
But
to
also
that.
9.
But also 9. The new stuff isn't going to be, but it makes me think that Star Wars Rebels will probably get on there because Clone Wars is on there. That's not been
The new
announced.
stuff isn't gonna be. What are you
The
talking about?
new trilogy of Star Wars movies
Yeah.
is not going to be on Netflix.
Ever?
Not immediately. At least Episode 7's not going to. But either way, Lucasfilm, Marvel, Disney, it's all Disney. They're going to be exclusively on Netflix, which is going to be awesome for me because I use Netflix. I'm loyal to Netflix. And I feel like their movies have been getting worse and worse. Their selection.
Netflix?
Yeah.
When I first read this article, I was very confused. It said Netflix has signed an exclusivity deal with Disney or whatever, and I thought Netflix was only going to have Disney movies. I'm like, that's awful. And then I read it, and I'm like, no. Essentially, Netflix is the only streaming platform that will have access to Disney movies that are not yet released.
Yes.
I.e., any Marvel movie, Captain America Civil War,
any
Star Wars, any Disney original movies, so
Other
like
things I don't
Frozen,
care
Finding Dory, I
Yeah.
assume.
Probably.
So
eventually.
this is huge.
Oh, it's such a good deal for Netflix.
Netflix, first of all, there's going to be that many more parents that are going to buy Netflix just for the kids, because Netflix Kids is already huge.
Yep.
But anything Disney Channel can then be on. Anything owned by Disney, ESPN.
Right.
Other things that Disney owns, I can't think of right now. Miramax Studios, I think it owns.
Pixar.
Pixar, I should look up all that. I'm going to look it up right now. Keep talking
I mean,
about other stuff.
there's a lot there. And for me,
Disney-owned properties.
I really hope that they have lots of Star Wars stuff because I like Star Wars. I don't need the movies though because I already have those. But anything else, I would love. So I think it's gonna be pretty good. I'm loyal to Netflix because I've had it for so long, and I felt like they've never done me
Touchstone
dirty.
Pictures.
Touchstone.
Buena Vista. Other things that are big. I said Miramax already.
You did.
They have so many.
They have a lot. It's a big company. So big
ESPN.
news. Very big news. I wonder if they would ever do live streaming.
Disney?
Yeah. No, Netflix.
What do you mean? Oh,
Like what if Netflix had
YouTube has it.
ESPN
Streaming of
streaming
esports?
of everything? All their ESPN channels. What if they put them on Netflix?
ESPN does have
They probably
sports
would never
channels.
do that though.
I don't know.
It'd be
I'm
cool
s-
if they did though.
It would probably be a different Netflix subscription. So instead of like the $8 a month, it's like $14,
right. It would have to be more.
which I would make sense, and I would not buy it, but I understand.
What if it was an esports only channel? And would you pay more?
I might buy it. ABC News they own. A&E History Channel.
History Channel, Discovery Channel as well.
Radios, ESPN, so many ESPNs.
Mm-hmm.
Marvel, International, Germany. They own all of Germany. Look like.
Yeah, the list is pretty long.
Okay, I'm done.
So, either way, I feel like that's pretty good. Pretty cool stuff.
Pretty good for them.
Pretty nice.
I'm gonna skip the next one on our list and go to the one after it.
Okay.
Uncharted 4 breaks PS4. First sales week records.
Yeah, it doesn't break the PS4.
Do you want me to
sales
click on this
record.
so you know what you're talking about?
I can tell you. I think I remember.
27 million units.
The
2.7 million units. That's very different.
Uncharted 4 is now the fastest selling game for the PS4 in its first week, I believe. I believe it beat GTA?
GTA 5?
Maybe. I can't remember.
Fastest selling PlayStation 4 first party title to date. So
PlayStation 4.
what is that noise?
I don't know.
Why?
There must be a video at the top.
There's a video
attached to the
on
top of
this
the article.
Stupid. Oh, it's an ad.
Advertisements are the worst. So, yeah. Uncharted 4 had a lot of success.
And it's still going
It
strong.
beat Bloodborne. It beat Fallout 4. It beat...
Nope. I mean, it might have beat Fallout 4, but
Right.
Fallout 4 is not a first party game.
Oh, true.
So it was predicted that this would be the highest selling first party game because there's not been that many. There's Bloodborne. There's Infamous Second Son.
Mm-hmm.
Other games I can't think of. Knack is one of them.
Yeah, I don't care about Knack.
Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
Ratchet and Clank, Bloodborne were probably the ones I gave it the most competition.
Mm-hmm.
But Uncharted 4 from Naughty Dog, the biggest Sony developer, of course it's going to sell the most.
Is it the biggest?
It's the best. Like
biggest and best are two different things.
I mean, for them, it's the same.
Unless you're talking about America.
For exclusivity purposes, it's the biggest and best. Sucker Punch is one of them, but Naughty Dog is better. Okay, so we're done with that.
That was cool.
New.
I thought
so. Uncharted 4 is going well.
Yeah, Uncharted 4.
New handheld Nintendo product.
Yeah. So some rumors are floating around the internet. Well, maybe if you did the research beforehand, you would have looked at my links. MH is the code word for
my hands.
Is the new code word for a new handheld console that's in the works from Nintendo.
Codename MH.
So if you've been paying attention, Nintendo is making the Wii a new console that's not the Wii. That's called NX.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure what that stands for.
Also not the Wii U, although some people group them together.
Right, some people think they're the same. So this is going to be a brand new console from what I've read in the rumors, the focus of which is to compete more with hardcore gamers, with Xbox and PlayStation.
With the NX or the handheld?
Through the NX.
Okay.
The handheld, I mean,
Nintendo has the
entire market. Like, they, at least in the US, they have the entire market. There's no competition, really.
There's the
Vita.
PS Vita,
and
not a lot of people buy it, and
not,
they don't have any first-party support anymore.
I'm sure if we looked at market share,
I don't want to do that.
It would be like 75% Nintendo, at least.
As it should be.
Because they make good handheld games. They're good at it. So they're going to make a new one coming out. So the 3DS XL is the last upgraded...
If this
DS
handheld game was like... You put it down on a table, and then it projected a hologram, like a 3-dimensional hologram.
Yeah.
Maybe even just a 2-dimensional screen. And then you controlled it with a controller.
Yeah.
And like that disc thing that projects the screen like fit onto the back of the controller when you're not using it. Would you buy that? Would you think that's a good handheld system?
No, because it's not handheld. You have to be sitting somewhere.
Yeah, kind of.
I feel like the nice thing about a DS is that you can put it in your pocket and then whip it out anywhere and then put it back in the pocket.
Yeah.
And then it's really portable.
There was I don't think that, for whatever reason, they don't have a game suspension. Ever since Final Fantasy Fire Emblem Sacred Stones.
Yeah.
In Fire Emblem Sacred Stones, it would save after every movement. So that way, if you turn it off, you can turn it back on and go back exactly to where you were. I have not found a game yet that does that. And that was on the Game Boy SP. Game Boy Advance. That was 3 generations ago.
It was a while ago.
And the PS4 has that. The Xbox has that.
Yep.
PC has that, probably.
Probably. Some games.
Just like minimizing, I guess. But
yeah.
And you can kind of minimize on the 3DS because you can go back to the home screen and not cancel out your other one. But then once you choose to do something else, you have to cancel it out.
Right.
But I just want to be able to turn it off and turn it back on and start up exactly where I am.
Yeah.
And I know with the 3DS you can close it.
You can.
But that uses battery.
It uses less battery, though. I've left it on for like a day and came back and it was still good.
Does it still work?
Yeah.
I have not tested the length on that.
Yeah, it lasts a while. I mean, it goes into power save mode essentially when you close it.
Oh, well, maybe I should do that more often.
Probably. MH, Nintendo handheld.
My hands.
So, another thing.
Oh, you have something else?
Oh, I mean, there's a thing underneath.
Battleborn?
Do you want to talk about it?
I was going to go to this one. Okay. Let's talk about Battleborn because I just said Battleborn.
Okay, Battleborn is
the game by
Overwatch
the studio that made Borderlands.
So Borderlands studio made Battleborn, which did very well at first.
Mushroom Head.
But since Overwatch has released, has been stumbling.
Overwatch? No, you posted this. Oh,
backwards.
Especially now, Overwatch is. No, Overwatch didn't get released till yesterday, and this news article came out before yesterday, 2 days ago. Battleborn is doing bad, is what you're saying.
That's what I'm trying to do.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I'm really struggling right now.
Battleborn has less players online than Borderlands 2.
That's what I was gonna say.
Although
when I wrote it down.
they said that Battleborn sold more copies than Borderlands 1 at this specific time in the release cycle.
Yeah.
That is because Borderlands 1 did not get popular until like a year after its release. Either based on patches and DLC or just word of mouth. Borderlands 2 obviously is still popular, more so popular than their newest game, Battleborn. I only know one person that plays Battleborn, and he's obsessed with it.
I just thought it was weird because Borderlands 2 is so old.
It is still old.
It's so old.
The only time I played Borderlands 1, so I could, because my roommate wanted to play Borderlands 2, and I'm like, well, I want to get into it first, so let me play Borderlands 1. Played it, beat it real quick, bought Borderlands 2. We both played it together. We got halfway through the storyline, and I just kind of stopped. I'm just like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, that's kind of my experience with it too.
I don't even know where it is anymore. I'm looking for it, and I can't find it.
I didn't borrow it, so you can't blame it on me.
I should organize these alphabetically.
So that's interesting. I've heard people say that Battleborn is better than Overwatch. Specifically, just one person. Who is actually the person who you just said loves it,
yes.
I think.
I don't know. As we have discussed, in one, our YouTube video, and two, on our podcast.
Right.
I was not that gung-ho for Overwatch.
Yeah.
But now, you have different opinions.
At first, I was on board with you, but the more I read about Overwatch, the more I'm like, maybe I should give it another shot. Because I really only played the beta for like maybe 2 hours. Maybe. Mm-hmm. So I'm open to buying it.
Like, you didn't even try every character.
I
didn't try
I tried
every
like
either.
maybe 4 characters.
Yeah.
The more I've read about other characters, I watched a couple YouTube videos of like a breakdown of different characters.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like that would be exciting to like learn how to play multiple characters and be able to like switch
in the middle.
And I know that Blizzard is trying to push Overwatch to be an esport. That has been one of the things that they have said.
Oh. They already have Hearthstone.
I know, but they're trying to get
greedy.
We're trying to get more esports coverage because used to they completely dominated it with StarCraft.
Yep, that's true. That's
StarCraft 1 for like years and years and years and years was like the major esport in the world. And then what else did they do? I guess they had Warcraft, which was never as popular, but
yeah.
But I don't know. And World of Warcraft obviously has been having a slow death for so long. I mean, by death, I mean it still has millions of players, but it used to be like
2 million players.
It used to be I think it was up to 8 million. I think it's ridiculous. That might be wrong though. I just threw that out.
I don't know. Like marketing standpoint, Overwatch has dominated Battleborn. For sure. I have not seen a Battleborn commercial. I have not seen anything for Battleborn.
Right.
I see stuff for Overwatch all the time. And I don't know, that's probably just because Blizzard has more money to throw at marketing.
They have way more money.
It's also the same game, and it's a trusted developer. I mean, obviously, the people that made Borderlands is trusted, but not like Blizzard.
They're just not as high profile as Blizzard is. Yeah. Blizzard has been, since the first Diablo game, they've just been like blowing people's minds.
Yeah. They also released the character videos along with the game.
Yeah.
So I watched like 2 of them today. And they look super good, and they're super fun to watch.
Yeah.
And they have the character backstories. Overwatch is, the more it evolves, the more it's a team-based shooter. So you need to have like a support character, a healer. You need to have like a tank, a glass cannon, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I don't think in the public setting that I or you would be playing it in, I don't think that would be good. Because I think it's meant for that. It's meant to have these roles. Mm-hmm. But when I would play, I'd either play by myself or like with 1 or 2 other people.
Right.
And as I've discussed before, everyone I play with is very selfish when it comes to these types of games. True. They always go for the assault or glass cannon type of role to get as many kills as possible.
Right.
So do the most damage, essentially.
But I think part of this, with an online MMO, like what they're famous for, and many other games, like Guild Wars and things, yes, most people pick the high offense characters and classes, but there are always some who don't.
Yeah.
And you got to imagine that the teams that have people be healers and be tanks and be those role players, you got to believe that they win more. You know? So? Like, if you are a healer, you're going to have a higher win rate than... Well, hopefully, than like just a glass cannon person unless they're really good. Because because your team has a healer now, because you are the healer. So
Yeah.
I would assume that there'd be some incentive, at least a little bit, to be a healer.
But then it also comes to that. It's an econ term,
Mhm.
specified interest or whatever, specified role.
Mhm.
I don't know what the term is, but if I am good at a glass cannon roll, I can also be good at a healer roll.
Right.
But I might be better at the glass cannon roll than I am at the healer roll.
Because you're talking about comparative advantage.
Yeah,
You're relatively more efficient with one thing than another.
that's correct.
Yeah. That
So
makes sense.
so I have a better chance of winning if I'm the assault player,
Right.
as opposed to if I switch to the healer player.
I mean, already when we talk about this, I figured if we'd play, you would be the glass cannon because you're really good at shooters, and I would play some sort of support role, which is pretty normal for me when we play like competitive teams.
Yeah.
Because when we've tried to play, I mean, I'm thinking Call of Duty Black Ops 2 in college.
Yeah.
A lot of times when we played Domination or something, you'd be like, go stand in the back and hold down the thing, and I'm like, all right. And then I just had a little missile launcher and I'd shoot down stuff. That's like half of what I did.
And we won.
And we would win all the time because you and Epic Tim would just run around.
Yeah.
Because you guys were real good at Twitch shooting.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
Hey-o.
So that's what
Team-based.
essentially what I think of Overwatch is. I've been watching some things. I'm like, I kind of want to play it. I don't want to pay $60 for it.
Yeah.
I am not going to buy it. Unless something happens quickly.
Unless something like me buy it, get everyone else to buy it.
That might happen. But as we discussed, you need to buy Uncharted first.
True. And I'm about to be gone for a long time.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
there's that.
It was recently, I actually found this off on Facebook.
Oh.
Oddly enough. In the most recent Captain America issue, Captain America 1,
Mm-hmm.
it is, spoiler alert, for anyone that hasn't heard this, I don't know if you've heard this or not.
I have heard this.
Captain America whispers, "Hail Hydra."
At the beginning, or is it at the end of the first comic?
I think it's at the end of the first comic. Captain America Steve Rogers #1 went on sale on Wednesday? So yesterday?
Yeah.
This is a Time article I'm reading. So essentially, they reworked Steve Rogers' backstory, Captain America's backstory, and made him a Hydra agent. So he's almost like a sleeper cell Hydra agent, very similar to Bucky Barnes in Civil War, to where I assume he has an activation code. Mm-hmm. So what happened was, I think young Steve Rogers is like adopted by someone in Hydra, and then he gets placed in Brooklyn, and then the only person that knows he's in Hydra gets killed, so the Steve Rogers grows up not knowing he's in Hydra? I don't know. I obviously haven't read this. This is only the first issue. Mm-hmm. I assume there's going to be more issues down the road.
There is so much controversy around this.
People are blown up.
The Twitter sphere has done death threats.
Probably.
No, there are. I read it today. I looked at some of the tweets.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you scroll down, you'll see it. I clicked on your link. I guess it was a separate article then. He got some death threats.
Mm-hmm.
And people were saying, how disrespectful of you to take Captain America, who was written and created by Jewish writers during World War II.
What?
Yeah, that's what they said. Apparently,
Jack Kirby?
The origin, the origin of Captain America.
I don't think Jack Kirby is.
I don't know. I'm telling you, that's what they said. That's what the article said. The writers of Captain America were Jewish, and to make him essentially a Nazi because Hydra is the Nazis in, Captain America's universe.
Yes. Also, the first issue of Captain America, this cover is him punching Hitler. In case you didn't know that.
Which is good because.
By the way, I just found out today that sold over 1 million copies.
That's crazy.
In a time like
when comics really aren't.
In today's standard, if you sold like 30,000 copies, that's like a platinum.
Yeah.
So back then, in like 1942, it sold 1 million. Yeah. So created by Joe Simon and Jack Kirby. Maybe Simon is Jewish. He's from New York.
Immigrated.
How do you tell if he's Jewish?
I don't know. I've just taken the guy's word for it.
Nationality American.
He doesn't say.
It doesn't.
Wikipedia doesn't say. You're failing us.
Religion on there. I don't think so.
Are you sure? Like, how can you say no?
Well,
how do you not
Jack
know?
Kirby's name is Jacob
Kurtzberg. So they could have moved here from the Badlands, which I will call Germany, and the places around there.
His spouse is Rolls Goldstein.
Goldstein? Yeah, dude, that all sounds Jewish.
So maybe Jack Kirby is Jewish. I don't know. Anyway, so that happened. People are up in arms.
Yeah.
I assume it's not the worst thing that's ever happened in Captain America's history, and I assume it won't be the worst that will happen. I'm interested to see what happens in the future installments.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just playing a joke.
You know, I think,
maybe he's under surveillance.
Well, what I think is that people are overreacting to the first issue.
Yes, the cliffhanger.
Because
i.e.
says that
the Game of Thrones effect.
Maybe, yes, maybe this is actually just a lie. Like maybe he's like saying Hail Hydra because he's trying to dupe people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe he's like under surveillance.
Right.
And
so he's not really Hail Hydra. Like he's just saying that.
Yeah. So that he can save his mother Martha.
Right. Martha?
What?
Wait, your mom's name is Martha?
Martha?
I'm now gonna like you because you have the same
Captain
mom's
Superman
name.
versus Iron Batman.
Yep.
Anyway, so I want to talk about that for a second.
Superman reference, if
I
you guys are wondering.
want to. I have not had enough. You kind of threw this spur of the moment on me that we're recording today. I was going to look up some Captain America history and find out some other stuff. I did find out again today that there were 2 issues of Captain America, like Tales of Suspense or whatever, that he was on the cover, but he wasn't actually in the comic book at all.
Really?
This is when the comics were kind of fading off in like the 50s.
Yeah.
So one issue is called Captain America Tales of Suspense or something. He's on the cover, not in the story at all. The next one, again, same title, not on the cover, not in the story at all. They just threw his name on it.
Just to sell?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't... Is that worse than this?
I feel like that's a bad business practice. Like, that's like lying.
But not character.
But this is... I honestly don't think that he's really a Hydra agent. Like, it would take a bunch of comics in a row of him being a Hydra agent for me to actually think he is.
Yeah.
And I think people are just freaking out about nothing.
I mean, he would not be the first Captain America to be a Hydra agent.
Really?
Spoiler alert.
Uh-oh.
Bucky Barnes becomes Captain America after Captain America gets shot and the death of Captain America. As we just found out, Bucky Barnes was on Hydra's leash for quite some time.
Right. Secret code.
Secret code. Freight car. Homecoming. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, no.
You know.
Who do you want me to kill?
So that's the first thing I thought of was he's not the first Captain America. I think the fact that it's just specifically Steve Rogers as opposed to like Bucky Barnes or Falcon.
Yeah.
Falcon has not had his Hydra cherry popped. John Carpenter is coming back to the Halloween franchise for one more movie. The scariest one yet, he says.
John Carpenter. I thought you said John Carter.
I said like... John Carpenter at least 3 times.
Oh.
So he's coming back.
Okay.
Halloween movies are I enjoyed them a lot. I watched them with an old roommate. We watched all of them all the way through. Have you seen them?
I feel like I've seen
the Michael Myers Halloween.
I think I've seen the first one once.
Oh, I think I saw the Rob Zombie one, and that was not very good. But Rob Zombie directed them.
I'm not huge into
horror
movies.
Massive
though I do
creatures.
go on kicks where I just watch a bunch of them.
Like
generally around Halloween.
What's your first scary movie?
My first scary
Do you
movie?
remember?
Yes.
What was it?
It was terrifying to me as a child.
What was it? Star Wars?
It was not that scary when I think about it now. Halloween Ernest. Ernest, do you remember that Ernest guy? He had like Ernest Goes to Camp.
No.
Ernest, okay. Yeah, it was scary to me as a child.
Was it live action? Was it animated? Was it actual people? It was
actual people. And I just remember there was this really creepy tree.
Ooh.
And then all these like ghouls came out of it.
Ooh.
Because some person broke the curse. And Ernest is just a big old goofball. And so he's like real funny.
I don't remember this. But
I was really scared of that tree.
My first scary movie was Joyride with Paul Walker.
Okay.
And I was so scared of that I couldn't finish it, and then I went back and watched it.
Nice.
It's not that scary, I don't think. But in my house when I watched it at my parents' house, I would sit in the basement, and behind our basement is a woods, and there's a window, so the TV's in front of me. There's a window to my right, and then I'm on the couch. And obviously, when it's dark at like midnight, you can't see out the window, but people can see in pretty easily.
Yeah, that
would freak me out the most whenever I watch scary stories. Whenever I watch scary movies. Even movies that weren't that scary, but had a little bit of horror elements in it, I'd have to go and make sure that the blinds were closed, which I mean I could obviously see, but like even then I would like position myself in such a way that if someone looked in the window, they couldn't see me. Because I don't want to get murdered.
Yeah.
Obviously. That's the biggest cause of death when watching a scary movie is being murdered by the villain in the movie.
Yeah. I'm not surprised.
Right?
You don't want to get possessed by the TV spirits.
Correct.
That makes me think of, what's that one?
The Ring?
No. They are on Poltergeist. They're on like an Indian burial mound or something. That movie's crazy.
Haven't seen it.
I was scared of it.
I don't watch a lot of scary movies.
I don't either, but I feel like I've seen a lot of them. I just like don't. I'm not all about them. So I only watch them really once, and then I'm like done.
The owner of the Robin suit in Batman v Superman has officially been announced. Ooh. Although it was pretty obvious to begin with, it has now been officially announced. So spoiler alert for anybody that doesn't want to know.
Oh no! It is Gordon-Levitt. No. No. That was my guess.
No, it is Jason Todd. They're not even in the same universe.
Just checking.
Shut up. No, it was It was the Robin known as Jason Todd.
Okay.
I'm going to spoil a few Batman stories for you. We've talked about them before, but if you are an avid Batman fan and have not seen A Death in the Family or Under the Red Hood, do not listen any further for the next couple minutes.
Unless you don't care.
Unless you don't care, then listen away. But those have also been out for years, so if you're an avid Batman fan and have not read them,
then we question the avid part of that.
It might just be a Batman fan. But Jason Todd is killed by the Joker in A Death in the Family. He is killed. The whole premise of that book, the whole premise of that comic series is Jason Todd is looking for his mother. They end up in Afghanistan fighting terrorists, and the Joker is there. He doesn't have any face makeup on for like most of the comic, and then he kills Jason Todd with a crowbar.
Oh my gosh.
And then later, also spoilers for Arkham Knight. Batman Arkham Knight.
Okay.
Later, Jason Todd comes back as thought dead, because Batman held him in his arms as he was dead. And then even the world's greatest detective couldn't figure out that he was actually not dead. Comes back in Under the Red Hood / Batman Arkham Knight. And he is the villain in that. He is and this also might be true for Suicide Squad, to where that Joker might possibly be Jason Todd. But there's also, in the Ben Affleck solo movie, they're talking about how that might be Under the Red Hood. Essentially, Robin, Jason Todd, comes back, is the villain, is Batman's like greatest villain because he knows all Batman's secrets and he was trained by Batman. So it's kind of like a student master type situation.
Yeah.
And then finally Batman defeats him, finds out that it's Jason Todd, and they have this little big breakdown. So two things might spawn of this in the movies. Ben Affleck's movie might be Under the Red Hood, which has Jason Todd as the Red Hood confronting Batman, which is a very good storyline. Also, Jason Todd might be the Joker in the Suicide Squad, played by Jared Leto. There's some speculation for that. I would almost prefer. I don't have a preference for either one of those. They obviously can't do both.
Yeah. One or the other.
But I don't have a preference for either one. I think they'd both be good.
I think the reception of the Red Hood would be better than having Jared Leto be Jason Todd.
Yeah.
I think so, but it's also movies, and movies love twists. And that would be a major twist because they haven't set up the fact that Jason Todd died. I guess I could do that in the Batman movie.
I mean, in Batman v Superman, they show his
right,
and it says "haha, joke's on you."
But
so
that's
it's
like
implied that he's dead,
right?
Or at least that something has
dead,
happened.
But we don't know the backstory at all. Really,
people have said that maybe the Batman solo film will go back in time, not in the movie, but will be a prequel to Batman v Superman.
Yeah,
as a way to kind of show why Batman just shoots people all the time.
Yeah. How he lost
that mentality.
Right.
But
he doesn't care anymore. He's like, I don't care. I'm going to kill all these people.
I have one more thing of news.
Okay.
One more thing of speculation. Then we can get to our main topic, which is Game of the Year for 20 years by GameSpot. There has been a lot of speculation. Well, it is confirmed that Daniel Craig is not going to be the next James Bond. He's no longer James Bond. He did the last four. He did Skyfall, Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, and another one I didn't watch.
Casino Royale?
I said that. There's a third one in there.
Skyfall?
Said that one. I also said Quantum of Solace.
Those
are all three of the ones I just said.
The most recent one?
Is Skyfall.
No, there's one. There's a more recent one than that. I went and saw it.
Oh yeah, like GoldenEye or something.
I remember the ending. I
don't care.
most of
He
it.
did those 4.
Oh, dang it.
It's all over my tongue.
I know what it is. I was there. I can't remember.
Cool. Doesn't matter. He did those 4.
Spectre. Got it. James Bond Spectre.
Okay, so Daniel Craig was also in Spectre. Thank you, Justin.
You're welcome.
So he did those 4. He does not want to be James Bond anymore. They offered him like $61 million. He's like, no thanks. I'm like, dang, dude.
That's a lot.
Anyway, some people are like, maybe it should be a woman. Maybe James Bond should be a woman.
Yeah.
And there's also that James Bond codename theory that's been floating around for quite some time. That James Bond is not an actual person, but the name James Bond 007 refers to a codename, refers to an agent.
Right.
Not just a specific...
That's what I've always thought.
Yeah, because it obviously changes actors all the time.
Right.
And they always have the same name. So it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
However, people are saying maybe it should be a woman.
James Bond?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what to think about this.
Well,
do you have thoughts on it being a woman? Because I don't...
the last rumor I heard before this, I heard that it was going to be a black...
African-American?
Yeah.
Idris Elba?
Yeah.
Probably.
Exactly.
Don Cheadle?
I thought they were just...
Cuba Gooding Jr.?
Gonna change it up. But...
Not Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah, no, I think I read the same article that you did about... And they said Jane Bond? Question mark?
I don't think James Bond can be a woman.
You don't?
No.
Why not?
I think it's one of those roles that can't be a woman. Very similar to how Leonidas from 300 can't be a woman. It's just a male character. So you can change race, that's fine. Indiana Jones could be a woman. Indiana is not a given name.
It is not.
Captain Kirk could be a woman.
Yeah, it could.
Because Captain and then Kirk...
gender neutral.
Yes. However, James Bond is not. However, I was thinking it would be super funny if she went through the whole... It was a woman. She went through the whole thing. Didn't say her name once.
Yeah.
Never once did they mention that she was a woman. They just played it off like normal.
Yeah.
They just said,
hello,
this is James Bond. She does all the things that normally James could do. They don't say hello. They say, like, hello, Bond. Or maybe not even say her name. And at the very end, they did the Fantastic Four thing where someone's like, so what is your name? Where you would expect her to say Bond, James Bond. And she would just say, Bond. Then it goes blank. And then you get the... I think that would be funny.
So no one would ever know the name?
Yeah. No one would know her first name.
I mean, I think it could be played by a woman, but I feel like part of the appeal of James Bond in the past has been the fact, at least for me, that he's like a male hero. You know, like sometimes there are characters in shows, like you said, Leonidas, that it's like, it's just like a hero for guys. I mean, sure, we have a lot of them, and maybe it should change. That's always the argument against it. But I just, the masculinity factor is there.
With this, people say maybe it should be a woman because it's time for a woman's time in the spotlight. That's fine. Be a woman. A part of James Bond is the explicit sexuality of it.
Right.
He's always been a super attractive guy, always hitting on girls.
Or suave.
Always doing things like that. If they become a woman, where are you going to draw the sexuality at? Because then people are arguing, oh, it should be a woman. Just to be a woman
right.
also has to be super sexual.
I guess it would just flip the coin.
Yeah, but
and
then
then she would be like seducing men.
Yeah, which is fine. I understand that. But then some people would then argue like, oh, well, they just made her too sexy. She's just in it because she's sexy. Or there's so much sex in this movie, and that's all women can do is be super sexy.
Some people would probably say that.
I think a lot of people would say that, but that's the character.
I think sometimes people just, like, if it's a woman being sexual, they ignore the fact that guys can be sexual, and it's, like, not a big deal. Because you know how controversial everything is nowadays.
That's right.
So, I don't know. I think it would definitely be a change. I wonder... I feel like the target audience for James Bond primarily is males, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know how that would affect that. You probably, inevitably, I think you'd get more females going to see Jane Bond.
You think?
So, yeah, probably. I would guess so. I don't know what the net result would be.
That's my biggest complaint is people say, I think it should be a woman, and I think the whole core of that is just to be a woman. Just to have a woman in that role, which is fine, but then I think those people would also argue she cannot be over-sexualized, although that is one of the core concepts of James Bond.
Right. I don't know. You know, I'm kind of tired of people pushing social agenda on media, on things that I love, because that just keeps happening.
Word.
It's like there's
the
whole Captain America thing. Did you hear about that? 3 days ago on Twitter, what was trending was give Captain America a boyfriend.
Oh yeah.
And there was this big push. All these people were saying that they should give Captain America in the Marvel Cinematic Universe a boyfriend.
He clearly has 2 girlfriends.
I know.
But before that, there was a push to give Elsa from Frozen a girlfriend.
Right.
And it was like...
So it's
like... statistical probability that...
That would happen?
Yes.
I don't know.
Probably not.
It's just one of those things, it's like, first off, why does there... I mean, how sexualized do we have to make everything, right? Everything is always sexualized, and it's annoying to me. I don't think it should matter either way. Like, I don't even think it should... Like, I don't even know why they put that scene in Civil War, when they escaped and she was there, like, and
Agent 13.
Yeah, like,
yeah.
Why was that even necessary?
I felt awkward.
I did too.
I was like, this is unnecessary.
Why does this even have to be in there?
Also,
this is not a romantic. I know, that's weird. Her old aunt.
Her, like, great aunt.
Right. She was born way after he was.
I don't know.
Our society is just like, let's make everything about everything. Just relax.
Yeah.
Enjoy the movie.
Word.
Watch the explosions!
Main topic of today. We're going to move on.
Here we are.
Now that we've came to a adult consensus of all the news topics.
Yep.
We did not. We just talked about them. GameSpot has put out a gallery of every GameSpot game of the year for the past 20 years. So, we're going to start talking about them. Let's see if I have looked through them already. There are a few I have not played.
I have not seen this because it was not sent to me.
Oh yeah, we got this in a letter. Someone posted. They posted it directly. It was Richie, who was one of our authors, writers. Authors.
Does he build?
I was gonna say author. He is one of our writers. He posted it to me. He said, "Hey, this would be very interesting for your guys' take." I said, "Good looking out, dude."
Thanks, Rich.
Something like that.
So here we are.
See what happens if you write us something? You get featured on the podcast, and we talk about it.
So do it,
freaking listeners.
I know.
First game of the year.
I know it already.
1996 Diablo.
Yep.
You played it. I have not.
Classic.
It has a screenshot. It has the year, and it tells the what they rated it, and then also a brief overview from the article when they first wrote it.
That's cool.
So this one says, Diablo is the best game to come out in the past year, and you should own a copy. Period. If you like PC games, you should go out right now and experience what is likely to be the clone maker for the next 2 years. So Diablo. Yep. Thoughts? Do you think it fits into the Game of the Year category? I
think it does, for sure. The enduring legacy of Diablo is still felt today.
Correct. Next one. Total Annihilation.
Classic!
Have you played this?
Yes.
This is 1997, the year after. If you're looking for a real-time strategy game that adds some new features without breaking from the standard formula, Total Annihilation may be too foreign to satisfy your needs. But if you're looking for a game that is challenging and rewarding on entirely new levels, Total Annihilation is highly recommended.
So this game is really hard, and it was also one of the first games to ever feature DLC.
What?
It was free, though.
What?
Once a month, they came out with a new type of unit. I mean, they stopped eventually, but that's one of the things that was like cool about it.
So they say. They're still building the units to this day. Next, 1998.
Nice.
They came out with 2. Classic. So in 1998 through 2001, GameSpot gave Game of the Year awards to both console and PC. Okay. So for the console, what everyone probably assumes, 1998, Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
Classic.
Score 10 out of 10. The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time is the real thing. This is a masterpiece that people will still be talking about 10 years down the road. Correct. This is the game that perfectly exhibits the quality, not quantity, mantra that Nintendo has been touting since the N64 was released. In a word, perfect. To call it anything else would be a bald-faced lie.
Wow.
Is it bald-faced or bold-faced? I think it's bold-faced. Is that a typo? Fix your crap.
Maybe. I don't know.
I never owned an N64. I borrowed one from my then girlfriend in middle school and played Ocarina of Time for a little bit. And I never got past... As soon as the first time travel happens, I just stopped playing.
The game is very difficult for young players because there's a lot of puzzles. And there's not a lot of direction. And the water temple
That's what I was gonna say,
alone. But that game I mean, they just remade it for the DS recently. Like,
Yeah.
again, enduring legacy. So many people who like, if you've played Zelda, usually you've played Ocarina of Time.
It's almost been 20 years.
It has been.
And we're still talking about it. I assume we'll be talking about it again in 20 years.
Probably, maybe.
For a 1998 for the 1998 PC game, it is Grim Fandango. The one real problem with Grim Fandango is that the end comes too soon. This isn't because it's too short. It should make at least a 2 or 3 dozen hour game, but because the designers have created a rich world that you don't want to leave, filled with memorable characters that are hard to say goodbye to. Don't be surprised if you're sad when it's over, is what they have to say. This was Grim Fandango Remastered was the PSN Plus game a month or two ago, and I downloaded it. Have not played it yet, but I've only heard good things about Grim Fandango. I expect to go back and play it. Did you download it when it was free?
I did not.
You missed out. Have you played it before?
No, I have no experience with this game.
Okay, so
I've heard of it. That's it.
1999, Soul Calibur for the console and EverQuest for the PC. Have you played EverQuest?
I have.
I played Soul Calibur, but I'm not a big fan of fighting games.
I played EverQuest for like 10 minutes
and didn't like it.
But it was also because it was like one of those things where I was trying to find a new MMO.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna try something that's free and old. Everything. And then it was like really old, and all the features are now new and copied. So I had like a newer, polished version of everything that was in EverQuest. So when I went back, I was like, this is kind of lame. But I played Soul Calibur.
What they have to say about Soul Calibur. Yes, it is a fighting game, a genre with a fairly limited scope, but insofar as fighting games go, Soul Calibur is mind-numbing perfection. Namco has taken the best and made it considerably better. The level at which the company has done so is particularly unprecedented. Think state-of-the-art. Absolutely brilliant in all aspects as far as games of this type go. Soul Calibur is the undisputed king of the hill. It is essential in any gamer's collection. This is 2 years before Melee came out. Just so you know.
Is that your prediction that it's going to be Melee?
I've already looked through.
Okay.
Do you think EverQuest belongs on this list, seeing as you played it? When did you go back and play it?
I played it in probably right here is 1999. I probably played it in 2005.
Okay, so a good 6 years.
So I don't think I have a good perspective to make a statement
from that year.
I would say that from what I understand about EverQuest, it was one of the first major MMOs.
Yeah.
So I would say that makes sense that it would be on the list.
Yeah. Let's read about it. Also, every game has gotten a score of like 9 or 10. EverQuest got an 8.4. So maybe this was a bad year for PC gaming.
It could be.
1999.
That is possible.
Y2K?
Oh no, 1999?
Yeah.
Homeworld.
So that's your pick.
That'd be my pick.
Y2K, man. They stopped making games because they thought everything was going to explode.
Yeah, dude.
Anyway, what they have to say about EverQuest. Exploring the land, hunting monsters, fleeing from certain death, all these things are incredible fun in EverQuest, so long as someone else is along for the ride. Although it might have been better in almost every respect, it is, like any good online RPG, a work in progress. Okay. And there's no question that this is the best game of its kind. Homeworld.
Oh.
2000. The big 2000.
Oh, that's good.
Chrono Cross.
I like that
for
game.
A console. With Square agonizing over every detail in its flagship property, the Chrono Cross team was apparently left mostly to themselves. Consequently, the game shares an all-out enthusiasm and... What? I don't speak French.
And joie de vivre.
Found in the best 16-bit titles. Back before games became multi-million-dollar properties that had to answer to a glaring shareholders, Chrono Cross may not have had the largest budget, but it is the largest heart. It has the largest heart.
I've played that game. I really enjoyed that game.
What did it come out on? It doesn't say what console. Boo.
I believe it's PlayStation, because I played it on PlayStation.
Is that related to Chrono Trigger?
It is the same developers. I don't know. I don't think the storylines match.
Yeah.
But they might, because I never beat Chrono Trigger.
Neither did I. It got a 10 out of 10. PC game, The Sims. I think this definitely belongs.
I mean, you can't deny the legacy of Sims.
Yeah. This is in 2000. The review date was February 11, my birthday.
There you go.
This doesn't say that The Sims isn't an enjoyable, intriguing game, but because it is. If you relish the feeling of complete control of building a city in SimCity, then you will doubtless enjoy the experience of building a domestic life in The Sims. And even those who didn't will still... Okay. Blah. And even those who didn't will still likely find themselves engrossed in The Sims' bright-looking, real-sounding, and highly detailed world of miniature people. So this came out after SimCity, but it's more personal.
Yep. I believe the first SimCity was in the 90s.
On to 2001.
Because I had that one.
No Smash.
Nice.
2001 console game, Grand Theft Auto 3. PC game, Serious Sam First Encounter.
Very cool.
Have you played Serious Sam?
No, but I've read a lot about it.
Have you played GTA 3?
I have.
I wasn't allowed to play M-rated games in 2000 because I was only 9.
Yep.
I
wasn't allowed to play it either.
Yeah, you're not allowed to do much. My sister smuggled it home, and I played it for a good long time.
Nice.
I had a save file issue where whenever I tried to save it, if I tried to overwrite it, it would just delete it completely. So I had to have 2 save slots and switch between them. And I didn't figure that out for the longest time. There was, however, if you have your home garage on the first island, because there were islands, in your home garage, I knew where to go to the car dealership to get the Banshee, which is like the fastest and my favorite car in the game. So I always get that, put it in my garage. The garage was like a 1.5 car garage, but if you angled it right, you could fit 3 cars in there, just one on top of the other. So I put like 3 of my favorite cars in there. I remember one of the first missions, you had to go and beat someone with a bat. I'm like, this is a little too intense. There are some awesome cheat codes in this game where you can make your cars fly, essentially by like pushing down on the nose of your car and then pushing up, and it would like take off like a plane would.
Yeah.
You could also spawn tanks. There's one mini game where you had to race somebody around the city, and I tried so many times and failed because I was so bad. So many times that I knew where the turns were going to happen without being in the race, without having the map markers. So I took the tank cheat code and put the tanks at every intersection.
Yeah.
So there wouldn't be any cars in the intersection, and I would race them that way. So I'd use the Banshee, which is the fastest, not the best turning car, but the fastest.
Yeah.
And I would use that, and I would just like bank off the tanks, and I'd eventually beat them.
Wow.
So that was fun. That was intuitive.
That was very intuitive. I'm proud of you.
What do they have to say about GTA 3? Rockstar and DMA Design have obviously spent some time making sure that GTA 3 is a quality product, and that quality shows in everything. From the graphics, to the sound, to the plot points, to the gameplay itself. Unlike previous games in the series, the game is extremely fun whether you play it as intended or play it as intended to be played, or play a shoe of the game's intended mission structure and set out on your own to wreak havoc throughout the city like I did. While the violent nature of the game will surely turn some people off and kids simply shouldn't be allowed anywhere near it, Grand Theft Auto 3 is quite simply an incredible experience that shouldn't be missed by anyone mature enough to handle it.
Hey, remember when families restricted video game playing? Like, all these kids now run around playing Call of Duty.
Yeah,
when I was a kid, my parents would be like, no way. But nowadays, all these like 9-year-olds are playing Call of Duty.
You think it's just because they can... I mean, obviously the parents buy it, and I don't think parents understand the rating system.
I don't think they care. I honestly think when it comes to
they probably
violence,
think Call of Duty is like, or video games are like a harmless media. Like, you can't... There's sex and violence in video games? I doubt it.
Right. Well, I don't know what it is. I think just generally our society is becoming desensitized to violence.
Maybe.
Because I think a lot of the reasons that people are okay with like violent games is because there's not like nudity in it or something. Right? Like, they probably look at the back and they see, oh, it's just violence.
Just violence.
And so then they're fine with it.
Yeah.
Like Halo, like all those violent games, like they're cool with it.
Halo, I feel like Halo has different violence. So I think shooting an alien is different from shooting like an actual person.
Right.
In this day and age, but what happens in 200 years from now when we have the social justice workers and they're like, aliens are people too. Halo was bad.
This is a funny, weird conversation.
Anyway, PC, Serious Sam First Encounter. I already asked you this, but did you play this game?
I did not. Okay. I've read about it, but that's it.
What did you read? That was okay?
I heard that it was awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
Serious Sam First Encounter may not suit those players who prefer more deliberate, more story-driven, or otherwise more serious first-person games such as Thief, The Dark Project, or Deus Ex, but even these players owe it to themselves to give the game a try. Ultimately, Serious Sam is a clear lesson in what elements are necessary to make the game enjoyable. It is unquestionably a fun game for the unquestionably talented development team.
Yeah, from what I understand, it's just ridiculous sometimes.
It got a 8.9, which is not the lowest we've seen.
Nope.
What was that?
EverQuest.
EverQuest was the lowest we've seen so far. 2002.
Oh, nice.
No longer console versus PC. It was all combined together. 2002, Metroid Prime, with a score of 9.7. Let's get right to the point. Metroid Prime is the best GameCube game to date. It's one of the best games on any platform this year, and for good measure, it is also the best game yet in Nintendo's highly acclaimed Metroid series.
I played that game.
I don't think I did. I think
My brother got it.
Want to get it for the Wii if I don't have it.
I could not beat that game. I couldn't make it past like the first level. My brother did, because he was older than me and understood games better when this came out. But I remember playing it, but I remember also getting really frustrated.
Samus was my first love in Smash.
Oh,
just because you have that giant ball
I know.
you can blast people with.
Yep.
Even in Smash 4. Or even in N64 Smash.
Yep.
Anyway, 2002 Metroid Prime. Score of 9.7.
Oh, yes! Yes, 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 yes!
2003, The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker.
This is my favorite Zelda game.
I have not played it.
I love Wind Waker.
While some may be a little put off by the late game item fetching and the game's easy puzzles and boss battles, The Wind Waker is nonetheless a strong achievement in every way, from its stunning graphical presentation to its tight control and interesting storyline. It may not have fallen too far from the tree Nintendo planted back in 1998, but the way it refines one of the polygonal generation's most important games makes The Wind Waker every bit as much of a must-own game as Ocarina of Time was before it.
So I know what they're referencing when they say item fetching.
Yeah.
It's the only bad part of the game.
What, you have to just go from like
you have
island to island to
essentially,
get crap.
You have to sail the seas to find Triforce shards.
Like
and
a
you
lot
have to
of
find
them?
like it's like 10 of them.
Oh.
And it's all over the map. So you've got to, it takes quite a bit. It's very tedious, that part. But the rest of the game, other than that, the game is amazing.
Do they tell you where it is? Like on the maps?
You get treasure maps and you find it that way. Man, I love that game. Man.
Never played it.
I want to play it again right now.
Don't you have it?
Yes.
So I can borrow it.
Yes. Maybe.
It got a 9.3.
If I know where it is. I believe we have it.
You know what this is?
World of Warcraft.
2004, World of Warcraft.
Crushed
9.5. WoW features an overall
level of quality
Why don't you do
that's
this one?
typically reserved for the best offline games, which have always had a leg up. I stopped at a comma. It wasn't a period.
It's not just me, folks.
Which have always had a leg up on online games and their ability to present tightly woven, story-driven settings. But World of Warcraft achieves this in the context of a massive, evolving world populated by thousands of other players who you may choose to interact with, which makes the proceedings seem that much more meaningful. This is a stunning achievement that will make you feel privileged to be a game player.
Never played it.
I played it for 15 minutes.
Yeah, you liked Eve more.
I after Eve, no, MMO is the same.
That's what you say.
That's what everyone says.
Number 2005.
Oh, dude, I love this one too.
Resident Evil 4.
Oh man,
That's a big old demon.
I love that game. I
Resident
beat that game
Evil
like 5
4
times.
score 9.6. Is this the one on the Wii?
They remade it for the Wii.
Oh, you think it's better on the Wii?
I actually liked it better on the Wii.
You'll surely find from playing or even just watching Resident Evil 4 that all this sort of high praise is warranted. Though it's worth reiterating that this is one of those games that you ought to approach with a few preconceived notions as possible. Essentially, if you have been entertained by any other mature-rated action game recently, then chances are you'll be blown away by this one. It's that good.
Yeah.
You agree?
I agree. Man, that's the best Resident Evil game I've ever played.
There's a dog here. Is that dog annoying?
No.
Is that dog similar to the dog in Metal Gear Solid 5?
You don't have any control over it.
It's just there.
I think it just pops out a couple times.
So it looks like the screenshot, Leon
Yep.
is fighting this giant tree-wielding ghoul, and he has one shotgun shell.
Yep.
How
Sounds
often
about right.
How often does that happen?
All the time.
So how would you beat this guy? If you didn't have any?
You sprint to the other side of the map and hope to find ammo, or else you just die. And then you respawn before you start the fight, and then you have to run back and find ammo.
Ugh.
Which, ammo is so scarce in this game. Also, there's some bits of melee attacking.
Yeah.
And a lot of times when there are bosses, there are...
Ammo dumps beforehand?
Yeah, there's. I've never really had a huge issue with that. I've run out of ammo with my best weapons, and then had to improvise.
Yeah.
But man, this game's so much fun. The inventory was limited by space, so like if you had a shotgun in your inventory, it took up like a bunch of squares.
Oh.
And so there's limited everything. Storyline was awesome. I still quote it.
Do you have to play the Resident Evil 1 through 3 beforehand to understand?
No, this storyline is separate. It's in the same world, and it has Leon in it, which he's from the original games.
Give me a quote.
Mátalo, which means die, or kill him or something, in Spanish.
2006, Gears of War.
Meh.
Score 9. With a great loadout of weapons, a healthy multiplayer package, and an action-packed story mode, Gears of War is a terrific action game that, even after a full year, still stands apart from the pack. Whether you're a superfan or the first game who is looking for additional content, whether you're a superfan of the first game who is looking for some additional content, or a PC buff who's been wondering what the console kids have been up to, Gears of War on the PC is most definitely worth your time and money. So it's not even the Xbox version, it's the PC version of Gears of War.
Right. Everything's better on PC.
I never played Gears.
I didn't either.
Next. 2007, Super Mario Galaxy. Also have not played it.
I haven't either. Well, no, I have played it.
I have a Wii, and I know that my wife's family has this, and I could probably take it. Because
I only heard good things about it.
That's what I heard. Very good things.
But
here, I feel like this reconfirmed that Nintendo was part of like the console. It's like, I mean, the Wii has sold, obviously, and it sold like Wii Sports and things,
right.
But those are like gimmicky titles. This is what I heard brought them back to we can still do games that aren't crap. And I don't think esports is crap, but it's kind of crap.
You're talking about Wii Sports?
Yeah.
Oh. No, I mean, the focus is just different. The focus isn't hardcore gamers for Wii Sports. Yeah. It's for like, hey, you got some friends coming over?
Hey,
got nothing to do?
Your grandma coming over?
Yeah, you want to play tennis against your brother?
My mom beat me at Wii boxing.
Dude, that's when you know.
It's because she's shorter. It's not fair.
Okay.
Here's a game that the Wii owners have been pining for. A game that has tons of appeal for both the less experienced player and the longtime gamer. A game that definitely combines accessibility and challenge, all wrapped up in a package that's both deep and addictive. Super Mario Galaxy is all of this and more. It is simultaneously one of Mario's best adventures and a game that doesn't require fandom of the portly plumber's previous engagements to appreciate. Thank you,
lots of
reviewer,
Alex,
putting all that crap. Alex Navarro. Do you remember when Mario 64 came out? Was it before 96?
Nope. I don't know.
2008, Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots. You play this one?
Is this the one that has like 12 hours of cutscenes?
Yeah. They give us a score 10 out of 10. I do not agree.
I couldn't get through. I mean, I played this game for like 15 hours, and 10 of it was stupid cutscenes.
So confused by this game. And then by the time we get to the end game, you no longer fight soldiers. You're fighting Metal Gear, and you can't like everything you've used so far up to the game is like stunning people and like using your tranquilizer gun and like being able to take people out.
Right.
Once you get to the Metal Gear, you can't do that.
You can't do that anymore.
The very final boss, they've added a new gameplay mechanic that you've never even seen before, which is a hand-to-hand combat feature. And you're fighting Liquid Ocelot, on top of like a nuclear reactor. So it's kind of like a cool setting, but that final boss fight was ridiculous. I finally beat him. There was like a 45-minute cutscene at the end, and I fell asleep during it. I didn't even get to watch the final cutscene because I was asleep because this game took forever. I'm not even going to read the review. They gave it a 10 out of 10. I gave it a out of 10. Next.
Wow. Word.
2009 Demon's Souls.
Man, this game.
9 out of 10.
This game was good.
Your roommate used to play this in college.
My roommate destroyed this game. I put like 30 hours into it, probably.
Your roommate had what also he tried to 100% Mario 64.
Yeah.
And he had a guide for it.
Yeah.
I just find that funny.
He did it.
I bet he did.
This is the same year that I beat Final Fantasy IX for like the third time.
Congratulations.
I really enjoyed it.
I'm done reading these articles.
Demon's Souls
2009.
I mean, we're getting to the point where people may know these already. This is Demon's Souls is made by the same people who did Bloodborne, Dark Souls. It's those types of games that really just likes to kill you a lot and punish you, and gets you to keep playing over and over again just so you can beat one boss.
Yeah. And
so it's the type of game that people enjoy when they like to hit their head against the wall.
I don't like to do that.
I actually enjoyed
hitting your head against the wall.
Yeah.
You like the challenge.
I like the challenge of trying to see how far my head can go through a wall.
Oh, how exciting. So that's 2009, Demon's Souls, score of 9 out of 10. 2010, any guesses? I think I know. I think I know what's next.
2010, no, I don't know. Nice.
Red Dead Redemption.
Is a good one.
9.5 out of 10. How on earth does Red Dead Redemption get a 9.5 and Guns of the Patriots gets a 10 out of 10.
I don't know. I feel like there's a little bit of nostalgia with Metal Gear that is probably giving the writer a little bit of a boost.
Probably. Listen, if you have not played Red Dead Redemption,
you're missing out.
Fix yourself, dude.
You're missing out,
like,
man. What a great...
Of Rockstar's games,
yeah,
this has to be my favorite. Arguably, their best. Like, it's not the best selling, and some people would say that GTA 5 is the best, but based on the world that they created...
Yeah. Well, and think how many other games engage in American West?
Yeah.
Like, this storyline, like, we don't have many games...
Red Dead Revolver.
That, I mean, there really aren't any games that engage this time period, engage this area, and do it so
immaculately
well. I love this game. I beat this game in like 2 days. I just binge played it.
Yeah, we talked about that.
I like ate and slept and then played this game.
Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming out. They released the map.
Very excited.
Are you going to play it all in a weekend, or are you going to give it some time?
We'll see.
We've talked about it before, specifically with movies and TV shows, if it is more beneficial to watch one a week or to binge watch it. I think the same goes for video games.
Yeah.
When Uncharted 4 came out, which was a couple weeks ago, people said, don't rush it, give it time.
Enjoy it.
Enjoy it. Don't keep playing if you're tired of playing.
Yeah.
Yep.
There it is.
2011 is going to be Skyrim. Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So, RPG after RPG. Demon Souls is an RPG.
Yep.
Single player RPG. Single player Red Dead. Single player Elder Scrolls Skyrim.
Yep.
I think Skyrim belongs in this list 100%.
Yeah, I agree.
Fallout 3 wasn't on this list.
Yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed, but I also think that I have an inflated view of it because it was my first post-apocalyptic game.
Yeah.
And then also my first Fallout game, so I quite enjoyed it.
Skyrim got a 9 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, we're getting to games where if you have not played them...
What are you doing?
If you have not played Skyrim or Red Dead Redemption...
You need to go back and play those.
Those are classics. My wife doesn't play video games very often. She's played both.
Yeah.
She loves Skyrim.
Yeah. But these are like classics.
Yes. 2012 Journey, I assume you have not played.
I have not, but I've only heard good things, and I've actually thought about buying it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's pretty cheap now.
I think it might have even been free.
I think it was.
On PlayStation Plus a while ago. I did not download it, I don't think. It might have been free on PS3.
I think that might have been it.
I honestly don't know what Journey's about. I don't know. I think people said the soundtrack is what made the game so good.
Yeah, it looks like one of those artistic games.
I played a demo.
If you engage in it really well, you'll really love it. But it's not the type of game that you want to like watch Netflix and play.
Let's read this. It's a real accomplishment that Journey draws together so many conventional game elements and so well, and it still feels like the art piece we expect from the makers of Flow and Flower. Intriguing, ambiguous, and experimental. This game's length, 2 or 3 hours on the outside, is exactly right, letting you take in the whole experience in one session. Once you've completed it, you can dip back to your favorite chapters, and even without the impact of unexpected reveals, it's uncommonly enthralling. Its deliberate ambiguity brings on the... Its deliberate ambiguity brings on the urge to speculate on deeper meanings, but meaning here is bound to be personal and best discovered for yourself. Discover it, you should.
All right, Yoda. Discover it, you should.
I have not played it. I don't know a whole bunch about it. I don't know if there's a big... I don't know. Again, 2013, what? The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds.
I'm surprised.
The third Zelda game.
And this is also a mobile game.
Handheld game.
Yeah, handheld. My bad.
Not mobile.
Mobile used to mean handheld, but now it's different.
9 out of 10. Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds. Did you play this?
No.
So
I bet Richie did though.
This beat every console game in 2013, every PC game in 2013, unless it just stopped doing PC games, which they might have. No, because it did Gears of War on PC.
Right.
I think Gamespot needs to chill it with the Legend of Zelda stuff. Like, people are obsessed with Legend of Zelda, and they give it higher ratings.
It's a great franchise. It's a great franchise. They make good games, but I don't know. I'm trying to think what else came out in 2013. That wasn't that long ago. 3 years ago. When was it?
2013 might have been The Last of Us.
I think it's 2014.
I'm looking it up. The Last of
If
Us.
it beat The Last of Us...
Also, Uncharted 2 wasn't on here, and I think it should have been 2013 and...
Right? That's impossible. I disagree.
If you don't understand what I just said when I was freaking out, The Last of Us came out on June 14, 2013. GameSpot decided to choose Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds as Game of the Year for 2013 when The Last of Us was there. This review was written on November 14th.
So they had plenty of time
months
to play through that
after
game.
The Last of Us came out.
Oh my gosh.
Debunked. How dare you?
Disagree.
Oh, and Half-Life 2 came out in 2004, which they gave to World of Warcraft. Now, that's debatable, because World of Warcraft is huge still.
I would say the legacy of World of Warcraft is bigger. However, I think there is more spectacle about Half-Life because the rumors are always out there that the third one will come out. And
GTA 5 came out in 2013, too.
Yeah, because that's what I remember. The thing with Game of the Years that year was that it was always GTA or it was always Last of Us.
Yeah.
And GTA won more, and I was really disappointed.
Did they?
Yeah, it won more, but I thought that Last of Us deserved more. But I mean, it was like second.
And then GameSpot's like, hey, Legend of Zelda.
Let's put a handheld game in there.
Oh, I'm going to get a whole bunch of clicks, and they're going to find out why we don't like...
GameSpot, I'm really disappointed in you.
Moving on to 2014. Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor.
That was a good game.
I gave it an 8. Actually, I'm going to go back and see what they gave. Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds, I gave it a 9. I want to know... I'm going to take a sidetrack here.
I want to know...
I'm going to go to GameSpot and find out what they ranked The Last of Us.
Can you tell me? I bet it's above 9.
It is... No, not Last of Us 2. No. Here. 9. Just a 9 out of 10. Oh. Which is good.
Right.
I mean, it's superb, they say, but clearly better than A Link Between Worlds.
I mean, unless the game mechanics of The Link Between Worlds were truly revolutionary, I don't think there's any argument. And I know that they did do like a 2D, 3D thing. Sorry.
Actually, I said ow because I thought I hurt you, not because...
Oh. You didn't hurt me. It was my knee.
This game, Shadows of Mordor, talk about it. This is the 2014 Game of the Year. I'm going to look at other games of the year.
Yeah.
Other games of 2014 and see if I agree. Why don't you, because you played a good amount of it, why don't you tell me?
I did. I beat the game. Essentially, it's Lord of the Rings Assassin's Creed, but better. Mm-hmm. There was a fun new system in it, and I think this is what vaults it above an Assassin's Creed game, is the fact that they added a feature, a function, where there was a nemesis.
Oh yeah, dude.
And there was like ranking of enemies, and so as you would take out enemy captains and lieutenants and commanders, the ranks would be filled in from underneath. And if you were killed by an orc or a goblin or anybody, especially if it was like a low rank, they would gain essentially experience, and then they would move up the ranks.
Yeah.
And so, like, I remember one guy who killed me. Actually, there's a trophy. If you got the guy who killed you first, or like an orc at the lowest level, to kill you and helped him by assassinating the guys above him.
Get all the way up to the top.
Get all the way up to the war chief, which is the highest. It gave you a trophy. So it was like a fun system to play around with. And you could kind of seed your own guys, your own orcs, into the upper echelons of the orcs command structure. It was like a lot of fun. It was just... It's something we hadn't seen before. It was a new system. So I did enjoy that game.
Hold on. I have to check something else. Minecraft was released sometime, not in 2015 or whatever you were talking about, but it came out in 2009. So what did they give 2009? Demon Souls?
Yeah, but Minecraft has an enduring thing. I think it's endured a lot, but...
You don't think in 2009 it was the best?
No. I think it took a while for it to develop. Yeah. I don't think it took off immediately.
I'm still looking for games in that year. What year are we in? Where'd I go? Where'd I go? 2014. I'm in October, so I need to go to November. The Wolf Among Us, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare came out, so that's obviously not.
No.
Assassin's Creed Rogue was awful.
Yep.
Valkyria Chronicles on Windows.
Yeah, well, that's been out already.
I'm looking for stuff, but I can't find anything. Dragon Age Inquisition. Far Cry 4, no. Grand Theft Auto 5 for PS4 and Xbox One, doesn't count. Shadow of Mordor here, obviously. Watch Dogs for the Wii U, that'd be awful.
Super Smash Bros.
Yeah, but for Wii U. I don't know. Maybe there's just not a lot of competition. It looks like there's just not a lot of competition for Shadow of Mordor. So,
Yeah.
I mean, Tomb Raider came out. So I guess nothing awesome came out in 2014. I mean, this was an awesome game. This was fun. It was a little bit shorter than I expected. The final boss sucked.
Yeah, it was
not because it was hard, because it was a BS.
Well, it was just a little underwhelming. You know, I thought I'd fight like Sauron or something,
and you did not.
And then you don't.
2015, surprise, surprise, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt.
I'm actually really wanting to plug that game back in
to see what it's all about.
Well, no, I mean, I never beat the game. I went to Skellige, and I know I played it, I think, a little bit longer than you did. And I kind of just got burnt out on it, which I put like probably 40 hours into it, maybe 50. So I put a lot of time into it. I just kind of got tired of it. But part of me recently, it's probably because Game of Thrones is going on right now. I just like want to get back into fantasy.
Into that type.
And so I kind of want to play it again. And I just beat Ratchet and Clank, and I'm going through the second time to get more trophies and to...
I platinumed that game. It's not hard.
Yeah, well, it's fun. I mean, it's just like the mechanics of it's fun. Mm-hmm. So... And it's a lot faster now that I skip all the cutscenes.
Is it more fun than you expected it to be?
Yeah, I think it is. And the fact that you can keep all your stuff makes me want to play it again. If I had to do it from this.
So I recommended to you to play Uncharted. Yeah. I recommended to you to play Ratchet and Clank.
I did, yeah.
Is that 4 games? Am I 4 for 4, or are we counting Uncharted as 1?
We're counting Uncharted as 1. You're 2 for 2.
Gosh,
that only counts as 1!
Are you kidding me?
I'm quoting Lord of the Rings.
How about Uncharted 4? Well, I guess I didn't recommend that. You want to do that anyway.
Look, I got the Uncharted collection, which I consider 1 game, though it's 3 games. And in my Uncharted review, I consider it 3 games. But I reviewed it as 1.
What?
So
I'm 4 for 4 right now.
You are 2 for 2.
I quit. No more recommendations for you.
Dang it.
It's hard for me to argue against The Witcher 3. Everybody loves it.
I mean, I don't know what else would it be.
2015.
I mean,
was it last year? What came out last year?
Lots of games.
Some PS4 stuff, I bet. Not The Last of Us. That was already out.
No, Metal Gear Solid, Phantom Pain. Which is actually our most popular podcast episode.
I think it's because we talk about Tammy Hanks.
I also think it's one of our shortest episodes. I think people who are trying to try out our podcast find the shortest one.
Maybe.
The only one that's shorter is the Help I Married a Gamer episode.
Hey.
With your wife, and that actually has a lot of views too. So I think it might...
because she's awesome.
I think it might be the length of those episodes.
I don't know what else came out last year. I think
Metal Gear Solid is the only other competitor.
What do you think, given the fact that GameSpot is not good at naming Game of the Years? What do you think they're going to name for 2016?
2016?
Obviously, we haven't had E3 yet, so we don't know what's going to come out. And it's obviously May, so it's still early.
Right. It's not we should recover this topic after November, in November next year.
Yeah, this year.
This year, so far away. No Man's Sky. That's my guess because it's the most innovative game we've had so far this year.
If it even comes out.
Well, we'll see. It says August now. Late July or early August.
Uncharted 4, dude.
Which would be perfect. So that's when I get back.
Uncharted 4.
Uncharted 4 is good, and I bet it'll win some awards. Though I haven't played it, but I've only read 10 out of 10 everywhere.
All right, so that was the past 20 Game of the Years from GameSpot, and we started off agreeing with them, and then they started pointing out some crap.
Yeah, well, there's a lot more competition now, and I feel like a lot of those old games have a legacy, and that's kind of why we agreed with them. We don't know what the legacy of a lot of those games are now. Like the more recent games, we don't know what they're going to be like in 5 years or 10 years.
Yeah, but specifically they chose Legend of Zelda over Last of Us.
Yeah, it
wasn't even Ocarina of Time.
That's the one I disagree with the most, for sure. I don't know.
I'm grumpy.
So if you want to read the article, we'll have it linked on our website.
Word.
To give them credit for all the work they did, and we just talked about and disagreed and also agreed with. So there's that. If you want to check it out.
Where can I check that out at?
Underpaidgamerspodcast.com.
Oh, cool.
We'll also probably tweet out this podcast episode. I know I always tweet it out when I post it on the website. It automatically tweets, so
correct.
You can check that.
If you're looking for us on Twitter, we are at UP Gamers Podcast. You can email us at underpaidgamerspodcast@gmail.com. We're on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, YouTube. Just
Yeah.
look for Underpaid Gamers.
Yep. We have a Facebook group you can join. It's
We also
linked
have a Facebook group.
to our SoundCloud. That's actually how we got today's topic, was through Facebook.
Correct.
So,
As I said, Richie sent it to me.
yeah, thanks, Rich.
If you want to be famous on a podcast, if
Yeah.
you want me to say your name,
There it is.
send me a letter.
And tell us if you want us to say your full name or just your first name or a code name.
We're not going to do that. We're probably we'll say whatever we
We'll
want.
say what we want to say.
Word.
Say what you want to say. I don't know if that's a song, but I feel like that is.
Say what you want to say.
There it is.
It's a Sarah Bareilles song.
So send us some stuff and we'll go over it, or we'll just do whatever we want to do. If you don't, which is what we normally do.
That's
But the times we've had a letter, an email, a message, we have talked about it. So
Correct.
We're like
1 for 1.
we're 100% for the times that it's happened.
3 for 3.
3 for 3. It's happened 3 times, I think. So there it is.
There it is. Thanks for listening. We'll see you later.